Welcome back to another episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and today is Bandit Shotguns. Bandit Shotguns, like all Bandit guns, have high magazines, low reload speed, but I think the Bandit Shotguns get kind of a bad rap. They're pretty solid. They aren't quite Jacobs or Torg, but having that extra magazine helps, and their reload speed isn't really much slower than most other shotguns, since all shotguns kind of have slow reloads, minus Jacobs, of course. Their fire rate probably hurts them a little bit. If that was increased slightly, it'd be a lot better. But being able to get a lot of shots off, they have moderately good damage. So yeah, I'm never really disappointed if I find a decent Bandit shotgun just playing along the game. But let's just move on to the red text. So I'm going to start off with Sledge's shotgun here. This one I think was kind of a disappointment to a lot of people. Sledge's shotgun in Borderlands 1 had that knockback effect. Didn't have pretty much close to zero accuracy. It was a lot of people loved it. I didn't actually love it in BL1, but a lot of people really did. And this one just didn't seem to pack the same punch. That being said, it's not a bad shotgun. So you see here, compared to its purple variant, you have 2 extra pellets, but slightly decreased damage per pellet. Overall, you still have more damage. And a massively increased fire rate, which is mainly due to the fact that it's got a burst. And a really slow reload. So you have 20. So even hip fire, you can see you have a burst on it, unlike doll guns. But its accuracy, even as test dummy, is hard to get a lot of the pellets on target. These are slow reloads. So you can put out a lot of damage faster. It definitely has a lot more DPS. The delay between bursts, if they reduce that a little bit, I think it would be a little more popular. That was a bad example, but here that you're full. See, it's pretty long delay between bursts. But it does come in elements. It can be quite the stopper. Seems like in the pre-sequel, it always has to have a blade in the pre-sequel, which kind of sucks, but they either reduce that, I don't know, it seems more powerful in the pre-sequel. I'm not sure what they did differently. Maybe I'll figure that out when I go on and if I continue these for the pre-sequel. But I mean, it's definitely an improvement over the regular variant, but not a lot of people would put it in the top shotguns in the game. I don't know if they should have just upped the power some more and given it that BL1 stopping power. Maybe just go more the BL1 style. Make it only good at point blank, but make it incredibly deadly at point blank. But I can't really say it's bad. It's missing something. So moving on to the next Jacobs barrel. Bandit doesn't have any Seraph or Pearl shotguns, which is kind of disappointing. But and only one legendary, so we're already down to the blues. I went with the Rock Salt next because the Rock Salt is also a Jacobs barrel. And the Rock Salt is pretty much just better in every way, other than magazine size. You have 1 extra pellet and increased damage per pellet. You have increased accuracy, fire rate, and a big increase on the reload speed. That was a bad shot. So you can kind of see some of the damage there with the Rock Salt. Moving on to the regular Blue Bandit. There's a million. So you don't notice a ton of difference. 12. So on average, my shots are doing quite a bit more here. But you definitely notice that reload speed. That's a major difference between that. So yeah, the rock salt is really a nice increase. It's not a great shotgun, but it is I believe it's a mission reward as you get it. So it's not a bad one. You can see it's got more damage per pellet than the Sledge's shotgun, but the one less pellet. So that's going back to the Sledge shotgun. I think they really should have done is give it a nice damage increase on the pellet. That might have just done it. It's missing that punch. But yeah, once again, the rock salt. I can't really complain because they just made everything a little bit better. It's a bit underwhelming, but once again, not a bad shotgun by any means. So next we're going to go to our Bandit barrels. That's not what I was looking for. Let's see. Yes, we got the dog. We've got the Roger. Where is the Jolly Roger? And both of these are based off of the cleaner, room cleaner. So we got another 2 Bandit barrel ones here. I will start with the dog. The dog is got increased damage per pellet, increased fire rate, and an increased magazine size. I'm gonna see the damage you can do there. Kind of that standard reload. Compared to the cleaner here. I think that was not the cleaner. This is the cleaner. You can see my average shots, I was doing a little bit more with the other. But that's mainly it. Just some, increased stats. The Jolly Roger here. This one's got increased stats in a little better of a way. Reduced damage per pellet, but you have 4 extra pellets and increased accuracy and an increased magazine size. So the other thing about this, let's see, I'm going to have to go find the wall up here. It does kind of have a set fire pattern, which is, I think, part of the reason why it has an increased accuracy. And when you have this kind of accuracy, you can see there it shoots in the skull and crossbones. But you can also see how that accuracy is pretty tight. I mean, the pellets are among that area, but they're going on top of each other. That time I moved and I shot back a little bit, but yeah, the pellets are remaining pretty true there. So it's a little more predictable, and having that kind of accuracy with 18 pellets and 3 pellets per shot without a... So basically you're having a Torg pellet count without the 4 ammo per shot. And that's pretty nice, where this one kind of edges above the dog there. You can see this definitely doing more damage. And in fact, out of all the Jacob shotguns I've done so far, as you kind of see me shooting at the dummy, not the best test of DPS in the world, but it's doing the most damage on average out of any of these guns. It's outdoing Sledge's shotgun. Definitely outdoing the rock salt. So yeah, the Jolly Roger I think is really great because it's kind of a quad barrel for a Bandit barrel ammo consumption, which is great. And at 24 in the mag, you can get a lot of shots off. If you can increase the fire rate with your character, this is a really good shotgun, especially because you can match elements with it. The dog's not bad, but like a lot of these Bandit guns, it's just a bit underwhelming. And then we have the Teeth of Terra. This is the most interesting out of the Bandit shotguns, for sure. So this is a Torg barrel, blue Bandit shotgun. Nice, cool paint job there. But you're going to find out why it's not that popular in a second. So it does have massively increased accuracy, but you drop 5 pellets. You do increase damage per pellet, but overall you have less damage. You drop the fire rate, and it was already a bad fire rate. You increased reload speed, and it already had a bad reload speed, and you drop on the magazine size. And it does have the same grip there, so I'm not screwing that up. So this, did I just pick one of those back up? No. You see it kind of has a set fire pattern. I'm going to go outside to really shoot that and I'll show you. The pellets go and meet up with each other. Now what's really nice here, if you're watching my ammo, it's only 1 ammo per shot. But it's really kind of difficult to make use of this fire pattern. Compared to just your typical quad barrel. So the reduced pellet count because of the 1 ammo per shot doesn't seem that bad. So you can see here I can put a decent amount of damage on it, but part of that is because I'm fairly close and it's matching fire element. But yeah, I'm going to show you this reload here. That's pretty damn painful. So in the right circumstance, this thing can do quite a bit of damage, but it's kind of tough to use. And the reload of that fire rate is just bad. So Bandit shotguns in general are pretty underwhelming for red text. Not many of them do anything interesting, and then you have the Teeth of Terror that does do something interesting, but it's not necessarily in a good way. You know, this gun here, if they didn't mess with all the stats, like, why lower the fire rate by 0.1? Why increase the reload speed? This gun isn't that good. With a 3.5 reload, it still wouldn't be amazing. Why lower the magazine? Maybe I can see that magazine size because it's 1 per shot. I'm fine with that. But the rest of them are pretty hard to deal with. And that fire rate really kills it. A gun's got to be pretty powerful to have a fire rate like that. You know, the Flacker or the Ravagers, they can get away with it. The Teeth of Terra doesn't really have that. Doesn't have enough to really make justify that, I guess. But then a lot of the other ones, you know, the Roxel, you know, increased stats, but it wasn't that interesting. Sledge's shotgun, kind of interesting with the burst, but just a bit underwhelming. And that kind of goes for the rest of them. The Jolly Roger probably is the only one that really stands out, because you have enough increases here compared to what it's based off of. But even at that, you don't see a ton of people sporting the Jolly Roger. It doesn't really fit into your top 10 shotguns really that often for most people. It might slip into the bottom of the top 10. But, you know, when you have Hyperion guns like the Interfacer, the Conference Call, the Butcher, the Slow Hand, you know, you got Jacobs, the Twister, you know, probably put the Striker above the Jolly Roger. Maybe the Jolly Roger could edge it out because it comes in elements, but you know, it doesn't have that versatility in the range of the Striker. You know, as you go through all the brands, the Omen and the Blockhead are going to blow it away. If the Jolly Roger is the best that Bandit has to offer, it's a little bit on the sad side because it falls behind the best of every other brand by quite a bit. You know, the Jolly Roger it's not going to come anywhere close to standing up to the Twister. I mean, you can just look at the stats here. The Twister demolishes it in every way, shape, or form. And out in practice, it does. You know, the Butcher doesn't look as impressive on paper here, but that fire rate is what does it. And I think that's all the shotguns I have on me. But yeah, the Jolly Roger just doesn't stand up that well. It's a good shotgun. Like, none of these are really bad, but none of them are really good enough. So yeah, I don't know what the best solutions are. I probably have to think about it a little bit more for Bandit shotguns, but they all need a bit more, and that's kind of Bandit in general. Bandit was kind of the redheaded stepchild of this game. It felt like no one really loves Bandit guns, or I shouldn't say nobody, but very few people seem to love Bandit guns. I'm sure there's some massive Bandit fans out there. But in general, you know, they've got just lackluster in most guns. They're never really the best at anything. So, yeah, I mean that's Bandit in general. In the pre-sequel, they seem to be better. I don't know if that's the softer scaling did that, or if they actually kind of gave them just a general stat boost. I think Bandit's main problem is fire rate. If they would have better fire rate on their guns, they might be a little bit better, especially their shotguns. But I think that goes for their SMGs and a lot of the guns in general. Fire rate might be the big missing link. Or maybe just a combination of a little bit of fire rate and a little bit of damage. But I think I'd be happy with just some fire rate on them. Magazine size is awesome and cool, but sometimes they get such a big magazine size, especially on their pistols, which I'll get to later, that just becomes absurd and kind of pointless that their magazines are already that big. So let me know what you think about Bandit shotguns in particular, and, you know, I guess other Bandit guns as well. And thanks for watching. If you guys have not subscribed yet, please do so. Come over to the thread, even though I'm quite a bit behind on that. I hope to get caught up this weekend. But yeah, we're posting everything there, and it's been a pretty good conversation so far. So that is it for now. I thank you once again for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.